Born to Achieve. Born to Achieve. Welcome to Born to Achieve podcast, the show that inspires and motivates you to unlock your full potential and achieve your goals. With your host, Warren Andrew Pinder. Let's get started on this week's episode of Born to Achieve. Born to Achieve.
I am born to achieve, and so are you. We're here on another episode of the Born to Achieve podcast. Today on this episode, we are, before we began, we were just speaking a bit about what are the solutions in helping young men and from young men to understand where we are coming from, the dynamics. And today, our topic today deals with, what are the negative effects of single mothers. And we want to tie that into how we can, how young men and women, and, they themselves, that they would have been affected. And this is something that we hear in society a lot, that, single mothers bringing up young men and where the fathers, and these are the negative effects that we're going to dwell into today and so forth. But before we do that, I thought it, important, as I was speaking to Dr. Williams and LD before we began recording, the fact that what we are doing is just basically expressing ourselves through our experiences. And, the opinions are ours, and everyone has his or her own individual experience and would say something different. But the truth is, we are trying to create a community of achievers, because we're saying that we're all born to achieve.
Yes.
And the fact that we're claiming it, and we want to understand that it's in sharing that we are able to help persons, because I'm certain that persons who listen may say, I can relate, I can understand what it is. So this Achieve movement that we have been, on is, creating a tribe of persons to a mindset change. Understand it begins with you wanting to achieve more, with you wanting to do better, with you, listening and, as Ellie said, identifying your mistakes, owning it, and then doing something about it. So that being said, LD, you go.
Okay, Michael, a good introduction, Mr. Pender. And as we try to educate our young men about their situation in life, but also to help them to understand the woman that they would choose, whether she is single or not. But these are some of the struggles of life that we have to deal with. And I think many times we don't really try to understand her. And so, first, Andrew, let's set boundaries again. And I'd like you to read, I think there's something there, but what are the negative effects of single mothers?
And it reads, single parent children can feel frightened, stressed, and frustrated by the difference between their lives and their friends. Children of single parents are more prone to various psychiatric illnesses, alcohol abuse, and suicide attempts than children from homes with two parents.
Now, let me state clearly, and I think I say this for all of us, we have some single mothers that have done a fantastic job.
Definitely. We have one sitting on the side of us, sitting in our midst right now.
Amen.
But because of circumstances, sometimes not because of theirs, they fall upon challenges in life that are really very hard to get past. And so we want to make that clear that this is not for all single mothers, but there are some mothers that struggle, and they're still struggling. And so we would like to enlighten them about some things that may cause their path in life to be a little easier. And we cannot talk about a single mother and not talk about the child. Dr. Williams will come behind and give us some of the reasons why these children have these effects. Okay? But the last one here is, what do single mothers struggle with the most, Mr. Linda?
What do single mothers struggle with? 4 common obstacles of single mothers. Maintaining the work-life balance. Balancing work and leisure time can be difficult because single mothers are expected to provide for the children. Secondly, experiencing emotional struggles. They are compelled because of the lack of financial support. And lastly, pressure to make decisions.
Okay. So, Dr. Williams, on that note, and you're a single mother at this point, I turn the mic over to you. Yogo.
Okay. Maintaining a work-life balance, balancing work and leisure time. Really, as a single mother, you barely know what leisure time is all about. Because if you have a child or even more than one child, you have 2 or 3 children. Let's say for my case, I have a daughter in college, a daughter in high school, a son in primary school. So that is getting up every morning, preparing breakfast, preparing lunch, dropping off to 3 different schools, then heading to work. At the same time, you have to make sure that everybody has lunch money and everybody has snacks, everybody has juice, everybody has water, everybody has fruits. You take them to school, college, and then you make your way to work. School is out. Sometimes you're not off as yet. So you have to leave your job, go to 3 different locations to pick up. And if you are a parent, you would know that the minute the child comes in the car, you hear something. They asking for something. They hungry. So right there and then, you have to find something for them to eat. Because I don't know if y'all are mothers like myself, the minute you hear your child saying they hungry, and you know what it is to be hungry, you know your mission right there and then is to get food for your children. So you pick up 3 different locations, fight traffic, take them home, make sure they get something to eat. You go back to work, you leave work afterwards, head back home. Then it's time to cook dinner. After dinner, you make sure everybody's straight with homework. Then after homework, you'd have the child, 1 or 2, sometimes all the children come to you separate times. Mommy, I have this issue. Mommy, I have that issue. Mommy, I have this issue. So you would then have to now go into counseling. You have to go into mentoring. Like last week, my daughter came in the car. She had finished exams. And she said, Mommy, let's just drive off. I had a very stressful day. And I'm like, what happened? Was the exams hard? She was like, no. And she started to cry. So I'm like, oh, Lord. So she said, Mommy, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. You know, sometimes every day is just a lot. So there I had to put every feeling that I was feeling aside to deal with her, to make sure she was all right, to get her into a comfortable position again, to let her know that, you know what, hard work will pay off. You know, the days wouldn't be hard forever. School wouldn't be, around forever. One day you'll finish this work and this task and you'll be on your way to a job and it'll get better, it'll get easier. So I had to go into that mode. And after I took her home, everything was fine. Then my other daughter from college called and she was like, oh, she didn't get the grades that she wanted to get. And so counseling again, because she's also a person, I think it was like a 3.73 or something that she wanted to get 7.5, and something to do with, her not meeting her mark for the GPA she wanted. Whereas I had to convince her to say, hey, you did extremely well. Sometimes we want something and then we were unable to make it at that point, but that shouldn't be discouraging to you. And so the mother has to play so much roles in one day. Emotionally, she doesn't know how to be there for herself.
But let me ask, just to give you a breather. Mm-hmm. Listening to you make me tired.
Okay.
So I just choose to give you a breather. If that's day one.
Yes.
If that's day one of what a mother has to go through.
Yes.
And I'll add to that to say, I think men know this, but they don't understand it. So from what she said just now, a single mother ain't got no time for nobody else.
That's what. But I commend you because we know what other things.
So if she has a man in her life,
yeah,
when is she gonna have time for them to spend quality time other than
or time for herself?
Or time for herself.
So go on, but see, LD, and this is what we're trying to bring in this back, right? And those who listening, right? And they let the young men in your house really listen to that, what you just said, that full day, right? Mm-hmm. And he's slunking, and he got time to kick up at mommy, and you understand? They saying, man, go on.
So it's really a lot, and if anybody who knows me knows that my children are my priority, because one, being a divorce, you already had them in an environment which was toxic, which was very devastating. So now you're trying to build character with them, build up their emotions positively, build up their self-esteem, build up the fact that everything is going to be okay. Let's move forward. So that is not an easy thing, especially with my oldest child who experienced the most. She needs the most encouraging from what I see. And that's why I have to put a lot of time into to get to see it, that for her to see the bigger picture of the end of what it is that we've been through, what God carried us through, and have her to see vision for where we will end up, God's willing. So it is really a lot on single parents. And I wouldn't even talk about financially, because there is a saying I say, you divorce the man, he divorced the kids. So you now have to figure out how your pay is going to make it for the rest of the month after you would have paid mortgage, light bill, water bill, cable, internet, lunch money, food money, snacks money. The children are doing very well in school, so you don't want to just have them with all adult life. You would want them to have some time out to the movies, to the game room. So there's times where you need to come up with funds to give them a treat. And then with no support, you have to figure this out by yourself. And at the end of the day, young men need to understand that, one, if you're with a young lady, you have a child with her, you all do don't work out, it doesn't mean you go on the run and do not look back at that child. Because at the end of the day, that child suffers if the mother is unable to fulfill the needs for that child. And that's basic needs, because like I said earlier, I work 2 and 3 jobs at a time, and that makes the ends meet. So imagine some single mothers who only have a job and it's making minimum wage and have to pay rent and all these utilities and phone and cable and all this stuff. They will emotionally have a breakdown.
That's the next one. That's why what you just said segues right into the next point that you said, Ellie.
Thank you for joining today's podcast. We'll be right back.
Achieve Man, written by Warren Andrew Pinder and Dominique Bradford. This book passionately focuses on the challenges women have been made to go through and how to overcome them. In some cultures, being a woman disadvantages the girl child. This book carefully exposes the hurdles you might face. This masterpiece is the ultimate self-help guide for women. It reveals your true purpose and identity. Get your copy today. Available from Amazon.
We now return to today's podcast.
The next point that you said, Ellie, experiencing the emotional struggle. And that sound, just listening to that, I mean, it's something really to ponder on, because to me, it's more of a struggle.
Yes.
That what you were saying, that's more of a struggle.
Well, I'm going to say something here that is real, but people don't see it. And a lot of women who are challenged, struggling, they're going to find a little relief, but they find relief, alcohol, marijuana, quick fixes, just to get out of it for a second, just to go to sleep.
Wow.
And you'll be surprised to know,
Wow.
How many of our young women do this just to get away for a second? Now, here's the mix. You have some young men in this country, a few, they don't talk, who are bringing up children too, you know. They under great stress.
Wow.
Greater stress. Because some of our young women have now dumped their children on the man and the Grammy. And they go on their way. They say, I ain't dealing with that.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's another side of the coin. That's a hidden side of the coin. So this is a two-edged sword. Like I always talk about the two-edged sword. It's a two-edged sword.
Yeah.
However, the problem exists. People will find an escape some way. Now, some women may turn to sex.
Right.
And then they start having children for more men because they see them as supporters at the end of the day, which more than complicates the situation. So the emotional stress, the mental stress that female goes through is, see, we're not dealing with it head on. We talk about it.
Yeah.
But a lot of our young women are going through a lot of stress. And I can tell you, I see it every day on the road. I see these young girls, their face made right up. I mean, they look like they're angry with the world.
Can't smile.
They can't smile. You when
you're being nice. When you're being nice. I mean, not every, you know,
yeah, but
you have good intent of being nice.
Yes. But they are mad with the world, and you wonder why. Why that is.
The struggle is real.
It is real.
The struggle is very real.
And we don't and you don't identify this with conversation.
No, struggle is very real.
So how do we what's in reference to a solution for women to understand that they have that help and the process that it is a process that, you know, our parents went through it. You know, they may have had help. Some women don't have help.
Right.
But for that young man to realize, right? For that young man to realize that he may have to man up sooner because his mom is single. But, you know, like we spoke about the last week, not putting that pressure, not really sinking that pressure. These are negative effects. You know, we talking about negative effects, right?
Right.
But the negative effect, one of the negative effects, as I see it, may be the fact that you can have a young man who don't really understand that why he can't get that pair of newest tennis, or why I can't go to that camp. I'm athletically inclined, but I can't go and pay that coach to take me to the next point. I competing, and the coach want me to go to school, but mommy can't do it because she's single. So she don't have it, but we need to find a way to show these young men that maybe because of mommy being in this position she is in, God may have blessed him with a talent to help mommy. And he needed to try and use that talent because the time is just a process. You can grow in 18 years. You can grow in 22 years.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? You don't always be right there. And I just see it, you know, as we elaborate on this topic.
That is why I always say it is so important to build a relationship with your children. That is why I always say you have to grow your children up the way they should grow up. Teaching them principles and morals and letting them to understand that if someone has something that you don't have, wait until you're able to afford it to get it. Do not steal for it. Don't think about getting it any kind of other ways, but wait till you're able to work for it. And if you don't have it or you can't or we can't afford it, it's okay. Being poor is not a crime. And I always stress that. It's not a crime. At the end of the day, you're not going to stay a child. You're going to work hard. And if you do well, you're going to be successful at owning a business or getting a good job. And afterwards, you would be able to afford these nice things. So let them know that it's okay not to have certain things. Therefore, at the end of the day, if they want something and you can't give it to them, they would be understanding. I use example again, my son. My son is my youngest child. He's 8 years old. He asks me for something and I tell him, well, I can't get it right now or I can't afford to get it. he would be like, okay, mommy, that's okay. I don't need it. I'll do something else or I'll get something else. Every single day, religiously, this young man comes to me, mommy, are you okay? You know I love you, right? You know there's nothing nobody in this world could tell you that can cause me not to love you, right? Okay, and he tells me at least 3 times a day, my son tells me how much he loves me and he appreciates me. If he see me look like I'm thinking too hard, he comes to me, mommy, what happened? Is there a problem? Your face look off. You look a little off. I said, no, I'm good. And he'd be like, you know, you can tell me anything, right? So once you grow them up the way that they need to be grown up, teach them, like I said, the foundation, making sure that the morals and the principles and standards are in place. You shouldn't have that issue with not having and encouraging them to, you know, do better. And as the time goes, we'll be in a better position and we'll be able to have what we need.
I'll tell you something as we talk about this, right? Because we're talking about the lack of financial support as one of the things when we're talking about, you know, obstacles of a single mother. How many superstar athletes would tell you, you know what I mean, that one child, what you're talking about, that one child saw the vision of
I'm glad you went there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you why, because I'm going to notch it down to one of the root problems. See, our country has a problem with correcting wrongs, and then we take them as a norm. Now, I learned something the other day. I always used to wonder why these young fellas would be in front of the food stores and they say they got a basketball camp to go to sponsor them, right? And sometimes I look and I say, boy, these fellas might be just trying to get money off you. Right. Mm-hmm. Now and then I give them money, now and then I don't. But I was at a school the other day and I overheard a coach talking about that. And I dug into it. And he said this. He said, you know, we have contractors coming here to paint this school. Mm-hmm. If they would give us the contract to paint the school, we'd make enough money to pay for all of their camps for the year. They wouldn't have to go there begging no more. Mm-hmm. Guess who's give out the contracts for the camps? The politicians. Most of them. Mm-hmm. Most of the contracts are given out by the politicians to people who they favor. But they forget about that young boy on the street begging to go to a basketball camp. That means he's industrious. He wants to go. Mm-hmm. Right. He out there asking you for $1 or $2. Yes. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people shying away from him because we had people scamming you on the street. Mm-hmm. And so they don't give them nothing. Yeah. But a lot of times they are legit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They just want to get away to go on the trip, on the camp. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now something got to be wrong in that formula. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's a count. Like, now listen to me. I tell you, boy, that's another count.
I can tell you something right now. I can tell you something. The young woman sitting in your midst right now. Before you came here, we was talking. She has a program working with at-risk young men, right? Mm-hmm. She has been trying to solicit, right, a contract, right, so that she could take her program and the 6 or 8 young men in the program. Now, remember now, these men, because I thought, when she mentioned it to me, I thought she was speaking of young men that's sort of high school. But she's really speaking of them coming out like real school, like jailhouse school. Yeah. Right? Where they learn, where you know what they learned there. But she's trying to rehabilitate them through a program for 8 weeks. Wherein they work and they learn to earn, teaching them the values. That this whole thing we talk about, you know, and I can segue into if you think about what we talk about when I tell you the acronyms of the word achieve, right? Teaching someone to take action to want to chart a new course, right? To want to change their life, understanding that they just been to jail. So that's a hurdle in their life because they may be monitored, they may be on probation. You know, when hire no one, just out. Mm-hmm. They got to understand that the hurdles, so their whole thought process now need to be intensified. Yep. That everything becomes meaningful to them, right? Everything now, it has to be 100% effort of whatever it is they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Being taught proper values, earning the respect of the community. Now they fit back into the community, and this is what she is trying to do. And I can send a play, and I tell her, if we got to go sit down, and I invite you to, Ellie. If we got to go sit down with the powers that be, with the politicians, we got to go sit down with the prime minister. We got to sit down. This program need to be in place. It may be small, only 6 or 8%. But those who listen to the sound of our voice, right, understand that we come in to try and help this young lady to get this program back to what she was doing. You how long you ran it, Dr. Williams?
I've been in that capacity with young men for about 6 years, 7 years now. It's hard. It's hard trying to change lives, make an impact, empower without financial support. It just won't work. And when you know the background of where some of these young men came from, and then you see the desire for change, and you find yourself with your hands tied most of the time, it's depressing. You know, I hate to say it, but that's just what it is. I'm tired of hearing the one I was helping, he just got killed, just got gunned down, or he just went back to prison. You know, I'm tired of it because I saw potential, and I know with the little help that we can get, it can cause a big change. The problems out there that are current, it is not a lot of people, you know, it's not a lot of young men out there, but the crime is just so bad, it seems to be a lot. But if we target this small amount of people causing the problem, we will see a drastic change. But it's just a
Ellie, what you say?
Well, I concur with Dr. Williams on her thoughts with that. But I would like to now go back to young women with their struggles and challenges, because again, you know, we here to try and help young men, but also educate them. See, they got to understand the root cause and problems that you're going to naturally get involved with yourself and with a woman. It's two sides to the coin.
Now for a commercial break.
Achieve Men, written by Warren Andrew Pinder. In this book, you will learn the 7 steps to achieving your dreams and goals. Given the vision to share how the acronym of the word achieve can be used systematically in your day-to-day life. Each of us is given a unique gift from God. Get your copy today. Available in print, ebook, and audiobook from Amazon.
We now return to today's podcast.
Two sides to the coin, right? And this struggle that young women go through, and I think we had this discussion, and Dr. Williams, you could go back to your notes. This rent business, boy, that's serious. That's serious. The affordability of a home in this country right now is really a pie in the sky dream.
We can talk about that. We could break that, but that one we can speak with that.
But a lot of women get stuck.
Yeah.
Because it is rent business, boy. Yeah. And rent in this country is not affordable.
Yeah.
It's a mortgage payment.
It is just like paying a mortgage. And they struggle every month to meet and foot that bill. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Now, some may be living beyond their means, some are not. They just can't meet the commitment.
Mm-hmm.
They're paid.
And there is no type of resolution with landlords, and we can do it, you know. We did it in COVID.
Yeah.
When a disaster strike, we do a lot of things.
Yeah.
During COVID, we relaxed a lot of things. Mm-hmm. But the landlords ain't gonna relax their rent, boy.
No.
You hear me?
Yeah.
And rent is exorbitant. It's exorbitant compared to the pay scale.
Right.
Okay? You can't get a 1-bedroom efficiency now for less than $700
But when we talk about that, I mean worldwide we have that. That's the issue.
That's an issue worldwide. Now yes, it's an issue worldwide.
Right.
But they've done some innovative things. Now, watch this. When we was in Taiwan,
right?
You were the one to point this out to me because you was on the ground more than me, and I hope you could remember this. In Taiwan, they will give you a mortgage for over 100 years, They tie the family, the mother and daddy in with the children to pay off.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember to pay the mortgage over 100. Yeah, over 100 years. So they only paying like $200 a month.
They only pay children up to take that off.
They amortize that. They got. I get wherever they go, they tie to the state. Yeah.
The property in the cities, just like America,
exactly,
is sky high. You can't afford that.
You can't afford it because you're living up high. You're right.
Yeah, but they extended that mortgage into the family.
Yeah.
To make it affordable.
Yeah.
So you're actually paying rent, You can die paying that. And then the children can pick it up.
They can pick it up, but that debt, you can die with that debt somehow.
Yes.
All right? But you're comfortable.
Now, I don't know if I 100% agree with that. But I understand it's an innovative way of reducing the cost of living.
Yeah, but we proud people. We want our own. People can say
we want our own.
But one of the things, there ain't nothing wrong with having an estate lot. One time ago, you used to have an estate lot where your brother, everyone living in one big, you know what I mean? But it ain't nothing wrong with it. You could go and buy one big plot and
goes back to family.
Well, when we get to that, I think that'll be that can be a serious topic what we got to address, right?
But you know, exactly with that, when you die, everybody will get buried in the family.
And that's the smallest piece of land. You can purchase, right?
You can get along in life, but when you die, you will be in the family plot.
Anyway.
But most of the young men that find themselves in problems.
Yeah.
Come from a single parent home, and
is that statistical or?
That's statistical, and most of them are with the mother. The mother, they would have come from a home with a single mother, and.
But how can you address or tell a mother to stop loving their child?
Like, you can't.
You can't, right? So when even when the child gets involved in some illicit activity, and you telling the mother, man, you gotta let go. The mother has to know. The mother gotta know that all of this we beating mothers up. But a lot of times I say that because you don't know what the mother going. You really don't know what the mother going through.
They do not know.
Can I get diplomatically graphic?
Yeah, go ahead.
You could make a child, right? You know the woman gotta go through to have a child.
Well, she started struggling from
before the child reach.
And some brothers them actually then haul up and they look back from dead.
That's the thing. So we have
mother,
you come out my own boy.
That's what I said.
You come out of me.
Yeah, but then see, this what's really, and this is really get you angry. When you get some of these young men, right, who go out there and they do all the things they do, they make a little bit of money, but they don't look out for mommy. But the minute they get in trouble, they call on mommy. Mommy got to go put up a house and do it, go take out the loan and everything.
Because mommy coming.
That's why I say that love for the child, but the child got to understand, boy.
And the parents, the mothers need to understand. That's why I always go back to growing these children up. You have to pay attention to what you are letting them see, what you're allowing them to have, what you're allowing them to do. It has to be some kind of structured standard.
You want me to tell you the best thing I believe happened to me? I ain't gonna lie. My mother made me invest early. Take that responsibility early.
Right.
When you know, and I talking about buying something tangible. A mother needs to take that child, even if you go and we don't take our children to open bank accounts no more. I'm sure, Ellie, you remember.
That's one of the first things they do. All my children when they were young.
Use a card.
I went to not the bank, I went to the credit union and make them open up. I had to open it up.
Exactly.
I was too young.
Yes.
Exactly. And you do
Get
that.
your bank account.
Exactly. But when you start, you show them ownership.
Right.
You show them response. You teaching them to save. And that's right in your goal. And this way it come right back. We get right back. This way it go to achievement. Don't buy no car.
Yeah.
Wait, look to get yourself a piece of land, place, or a house.
Let me say something here. This is crucial. Life is cyclic, boy.
Yeah.
Now, I want her to go do her research. You will find that women who are unwed and have children, daughters pass on for generations, boy. Their daughters do the same thing, and their daughters do the same thing. Right. On the positive end, on the positive end, people who have entrepreneur spirits in their family, they're entrepreneurs. Their children normally be entrepreneurs.
Exactly. Cycle continues.
The cycle continues.
Right.
People who are ingrained to wait for the man 9 to 5,
they will continue to wait.
They will continue to wait for the man 9 to 5. At some point, someone in that family got to break the cycle.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, history will do what?
Repeat itself.
Yes.
That's a good way for us to end right there. We're gonna keep it, but we got to come back in the house and issue. But today we were speaking today of the negative effects of a single mother, right? Things that she would have to go through emotionally, financially, being able to balance herself, her life. Really, she finally explained. I said, we get tired listening to Dr. Williams explain to us what her day is really like. Yes. So mothers from Ellie and I, sure, look here, we sympathize. Yes. Forgive us. Forgive us. We a little old now, but forgive us for not doing our part. Because boy, that's a task.
It really is.
And the struggle is real. Mm-hmm. But this has been another episode of the Born to Achieve podcast. We hope you got something from it, and tune in, share it. That we're addressing, like Ellie said, we're addressing the positions and topics that persons either can't, won't, or trying to dress it up. But we just addressing it. Simple. All right.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Born to Achieve. Born to Achieve. We hope you found it informative, inspiring, and motivating. Born to Achieve. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends and family. Stay focused on your goals, and we'll see you on the next episode of Born to Achieve. Born to Achieve. Born to Achieve.